Hey, I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co., and this is Where Are They Now for April of 2026. Where Are They Now is a series where I take a look at the games I reviewed a year ago and the games I reviewed 5 years ago and see how those games are holding up today. Before I dive into that, this channel is sponsored by Allplay. If you go to allplay.com, you can find a variety of games, shelves, tables, all those things and more. The shelves you see behind you, they're from Allplay. You can check them out at allplay.com. With that said, let's take a look at April of 2025, a year ago, and see how those games are holding up. Specifically, I'm only going to be talking about the games that I reviewed that I in some way actually liked, held on to, wanted to play. Things that I just reviewed at the time and just never bothered getting back again. They're less exciting, so I won't be going into them in this video. But with that said, we have Black Forest. Black Forest from Uwe Rosenberg, an amazing game. I still think Black Forest really holds up. I compare it to Glass Road. Both of them have a place in my collection. Glass Road's a little easier to table. Black Forest is more rewarding when I do so. It's up there with Feast for Odin, as well as other Uwe games that I particularly adore. Interestingly enough, Caverna has not. Is Caverna still in my collection? I have to take a look if I actually got rid of Caverna, but Caverna is on. It's not on this shelf, so I may have actually gotten rid of Caverna. I have to double check. But Caverna is one that I like Caverna a lot. Either way, this is not about Caverna. Point is, Black Forest is still holding up a year later. We have Reichbusters Reloaded. I don't have a lot more to say about this one. This was a prototype. The original Reichbusters from Mythic Games, before Mythic had all their issues. Reichbusters was a good game, but it did have some flaws. It had a lot of flaws, actually, but it had so many things I liked. I liked the presentation. I liked the miniatures, the general genre of what it was doing, the attempt at stealth plus, but the implementation I thought was not great, and when Monolith took it over, I was wary. Like, would it hold, like, can you actually polish a game up enough? But Reichbusters was the one that I always wanted a second edition of it, and so I was happy to see Monolith at least taking a crack at it. And I thought they knocked it out of the park. The simultaneous player interaction, I really enjoyed it. It's not one where my thoughts are new, because as a prototype, I haven't really played it since then. I'm excited for the final version, but I don't know anything different from where it was a year ago. So all I can say is I'm still excited for it. There's Puerto Rico Special Edition, which was actually a review on the channel done by Meg. Meg adores Puerto Rico. I like Puerto Rico a lot, but not nearly the same level. For me, it's a solid 4 to 5. I think for her, it's a 5 out of 5. I'd have to double check the review. But for me, it's a solid 4 to 5. I really like the specifically the Awakened Realms version of Puerto Rico. The production, the table presence, I think it really elevates a game that looks very, very drab. And I don't mind a drab-looking game. I love Castle of Burgundy in every single version it ever had, but I think Puerto Rico, more so than others, the production of it elevated the experience for me from a game that I was okay with to a game that I really enjoyed. I still have played it. I've played it a lot since then. Ironically enough, most of my plays of it were probably still the prototype. It's one of those prototypes that got a lot of plays in our group, which is rare. Most prototypes do not actually go back on the shelf. We wait till the final version shows up. But Puerto Rico is one that got a lot of plays, and I can say over multiple plays, I still think it's excellent. I'm looking forward to diving into more of the expansion content that has arrived, because I think that'll keep the game fresh, specifically the addition of those multiple buildings, which we didn't really have in the prototype. But I think Puerto Rico is a very clean, well-done game, and I think the expansion content really elevates it for me, but I haven't dove into the expansion content yet. So all I can really say is the original game, well, the Awakened Realms original game, has held up for me over a lot of plays. There's Through the Desert from Allplay, which is still in my collection for right now. It's somewhere. It's on one of these shelves. But I do wonder if it's over here. Just found it over here. It is one that I do wonder if it will last forever. There's just so many great games. Tile laying games are always a challenge. Also, Reina Knizia, I just recently played Rebirth from him again. Like, I've played Rebirth doing it as a prototype when I first had it, but I actually played it again at Level Up Retreat recently, and I was like, you know what? I do think it's a little better than I gave it credit for, or maybe it's just because I've played through the other sides more, the Scotland side, I think it is, or maybe the Ireland. The other side than the board, I think, adds to the experience. Overall, I guess where I am with Through the Desert is I'm hesitant to get rid of it because it's a great game, so it still is here, but I'm also uncertain as to the longevity of it because there's so many great games and there's just only so much you can do in life to try to balance it all. There's Inish Big Box Matago. Inish is an amazing game. Inish Big Box is just the expansion, the Nemet expansion. I think it's a good production. I covered this when I had the prototype originally, but I think there's pros and cons to the new version. Overall, more pros than cons, though, which generally has been the case. Like when you have Kemet or Cyclades, in general, whenever there's these new versions of a game, I often find I am mixed on where the full package ends up, but I can say that along with most of them, I tend to enjoy the new version more while being reminiscent of like, oh, I wish I had the old art from Kemet, or oh my gosh, Cyclades, that's another one where the old art I think is better. But the overall production, the overall package, including changes, is often better with the new versions. So Inish has that, and the Nemet expansion, again, I was also mixed on. They've made some changes to it, but overall, And it's just still a fantastic game, and the big box is one that I'm happy to have. There's Dragons of Etchinstone from Chip Theory. This is an interesting one. Dragons of Etchinstone is one that I covered when they had the campaign. I actually covered the original version of the game way back when, like before Chip Theory took it over. I do think the Chip Theory version did elevate the game experience. It's one of those that I don't currently have a copy. I didn't back a copy. I could ask Chip Theory for a copy. I've been holding off doing so because it falls into that weird category where I kind of want it because I want all games that I enjoy, and I enjoy Dragons of Etchinstone, and it's a nice little solo game. You can play it, like, you can travel friendly, all that stuff. But I also just think that there's the desire to have a game that I like, and then the realisticness of how often will I play that. Travel games, I don't play a ton of travel games. I have a handful that I travel with, and outside of that, honestly, when I travel, I'm like, hey, that's when I use my Steam Deck, when I use my Kobo. Kobo is like a offshoot version of Kindle. I use other things when I travel, and I play a lot of games at home. So Dragons of Etchinstone, I both want it and also don't want it. I think where I fall into this weird category is, like, if Chip Theory reached out and said, hey, do you want, like, a copy because you covered it? I'd probably say yes. But I don't, I'm specifically holding off on asking for one. Also, by the way, I do recognize it's a privileged position to be in a situation where I could just ask for a copy of a game. It's one of those things where I cover the game, and generally when I cover a game, I could get a final copy if I want. Don't get me wrong, lots of work goes into covering games. It still is nice to be able to ask for them, but I also just don't ask for things just because I can. I want it to really belong on my shelf, if that makes sense. There's Revive. Revive is an incredible game. Recall, I think, have I reviewed Recall yet? I haven't reviewed Recall. Oh my gosh, what am I doing? I'm wasting my time. I owe you a review for Recall, for Druids of Adora. There's so many great games that I need to give you reviews for. Recall, I've played enough by now that I need to review it. I don't know what's been holding me back, but I just need to go ahead and get it tabled more. Or I don't need to get it tabled more. I need to get it to the table for the review. So I love Recall. Recall is incredible. This video is not about Recall. This video is about Revive. Revive is also incredible. I think over time, my 12x12 review covered this. I think over time, I have found that the expansion I don't like as much as playing the base game alone. My original review of the expansion was more positive. Over enough plays, I think I just prefer base Revive. I think it's a better experience. The expansion is nice, but the stuff it adds kind of distracts from the core engine of what's happening. For me personally, I don't think that's a universally held opinion, but I've played the game a lot with and without the expansion, and the expansion is good. But Revive itself is phenomenal. I absolutely adore Revive. It's still a 5 out of 5 experience for me. I've gotten dozens and dozens of plays under my belt, and every single one is incredible. So I highly recommend Revive. Also recommend Recall and Druids of Adora. Reviews for those coming at some point. And then lastly, Flamecraft Duels. Covered the prototype a year ago, April 2025. That's this whole video series after all. And Flamecraft Duels, I've actually gotten the final game. I've played it multiple times since then. It is one of those charming games. It does go into like my kids collection category, meaning I keep it because my daughter enjoys playing it. I enjoy playing it. I don't think I would keep it for me alone. I think it's a little too light, a little too straightforward. It is charming. It is fun. I enjoy it. It's one of those games that I'm happy to play with anyone who wants to play it with me. But if it were just me, I would put it in the, this is a great game, I don't need to own every great game. See previous conversation about Dragons of Etchinstone, and so many more. But Flamecraft Duels, my daughter likes it, I'm happy to play it with her. It's a good game. Solid 3.5 out of 5, definitely on the lighter side, but fun lighter all the same. That brings us to April of 2021, 5 years ago. So this was, last year, a year ago, how things held up. 5 years ago, what are the games I reviewed on the channel back then? How have those held up? And again, specifically the ones that I actually enjoyed. There's Valor and Villainy, Minions of Mordak. Great game. Both Valor and Villainy games, unfortunately, have left. They're both great games in very different ways. Minions of Mordak in particular, the issue with that is just the gameplay experience was too long. Really enjoyable. I think it's a great game, but it's just too long for what it was, and over time it went away. I think the follow-up, Ludwig's Labyrinth, built on many of the core elements and did a better job with it. That one also left for other reasons, but I think if I had to pick one, I would pick Ludwig's Labyrinth. Then there's Monster Hunter World. Monster Hunter World from Steamforged Games. A very solid game. Monster Hunter World Iceborne did it better, and more importantly, Primal did it better than both of those. So, it's one of those weird games where I enjoy Monster Hunter World. It's a fun time whenever I play it, but ultimately, I think that Primal is the game that's going to get my table time. More and more over the past 2 years, I've been trying to purge my big box experiences as much as I possibly can, because I can't keep everything. I can't play everything. There's too many great games, and big box experiences more so than ever, I'm finding harder and harder to justify tabling the ones that aren't the absolute best of the best. And so when I look at Monster Hunter World, which is a solid game, I gave the original game a 4 out of 5. I think Iceborne is also a 4 out of 5. It's a better 4 out of 5. There's ranges within ratings, but I don't think it bumps it to a 4.5. And I think Primal's an absolute 5 out of 5. And at this point, with that big box fatigue, I've given up on Monster Hunter World, and it's time to move on. So, great game from 5 years ago. I can't believe it's been 5 years. That's a little insane. It's a little insane that 5 years has passed since I reviewed Monster Hunter World. Time really does fly. Aquatica. Aquatica is still phenomenal. Now, way back when, I gave it a 5 out of 5. These days, I think it's a 4.5 out of 5 for me. I still have a lot of fun with it. The expansions specifically do elevate the experience. Base game Aquatica is probably a 4 out of 5. With the expansions, a 4.5. I don't think I reviewed the newest expansions, but I'm not in a rush. Maybe I'll get to it, maybe not. I don't know. I enjoy it. I enjoy all the expansions. I think the first expansion is better than the newer ones, but altogether, Aquatica is just a very solid package with a somewhat unique mechanism as far as how the cards actually use those to like kind of ramp things up. You're like sliding cards, using your little steam rays, not necessarily manta rays, steam rays. I think I was saying steam forge from before, and that got stuck in my head. You're flipping your little manta rays for the extra abilities. Very, very clean, elegant system that the expansions do make better, but overall, phenomenal game. Highly recommend it. In the Hall of Mountain King, oh my gosh, this is the problem. Like some games I talk about, and I just want to play them more because I remember how good they are. In the Hall of the Mountain King is excellent. So is Fall of the Mountain King, but that was not 5 years ago. Was it 5 years ago? No, In the Hall of the Mountain King was 5 years ago. In the Hall is such a great game. Honestly, both of them are very solid. This goes back to that problem that not all great games can I make time for. But if you're looking for solid experiences, a different kind of polyomino experience, the cascading cards and the resources you gain, just a lot of fun. So both a strong recommendation and one that did not survive years later because there's too many great games and not enough time to play them all. Speaking of which, there's After the Empire. Oh my gosh, I liked After the Empire. Like sometimes these videos make me sad going through some of the really solid game experiences that have come through. After the Empire is such an interesting siege experiment that's going on your table where you just have like invasions of different enemies from different forces. You're trying to survive through the way you build your castles. Got some worker placement, got some tower defense. Very interesting, very unique, very different game. I've had a lot of fun with it. It didn't survive forever, but it's a very, very solid game. But again, After the Empire and the Hall of Mountain King, strong recommendations for games that are no longer here. Merchants of Magic. Merchants of Magic is a solid roll in my game. I think it's one of those games that I definitely enjoy, but I don't have that same level of like, oh my gosh, I wish I had time for everything. Like in the Hall of Mountain King and After the Empire, I wish I had time for every game so I can play them all. Versus Merchants of Magic, it's just a good time. It is a good time. It's a solid game, 3.5 out of 5. I definitely enjoyed it, had it for a few years, but did not last forever because there's so many roll and writes that I think are just better, I guess. It's a good game. There are better games out there. Honeybuzz, another solid one. Honeybuzz is so much fun. I really enjoy Honeybuzz. It's just, man, the worst part about what I do is the fact that I get exposed to so many good games that you can't play everything, and you have to make hard choices. That's easily the worst part of what I do. The second worst part is like, you know, let's focus. We'll do the worst part. We're just focusing on the worst part for now. We'll do the second worst part another time. The worst part of what I do is that there are too many great games and you can't play them all. Honeybuzz is a great game. I just don't have it anymore because you can't have all the great games. But I like it. I like it a lot. So I recommend it with the acknowledgement that it's not here anymore. Although what is here is Canvas. Canvas I reviewed 5 years ago. I gave it a 3.5 out of 5 in my initial review, but I did bump that up over time. It's one that has continued to grow on me. I just think Canvas, well, not at this point. At this point, it's been a solid 4.5 for like a few years now. Just Canvas is so much fun. It's such a great system as far as overlaying cards. I just saw that they're coming back. Tycoon Games is coming back with a new version of Canvas. I think Canvas is phenomenal. I am curious what they're going to do. Tycoon Games is an interesting company. Like they have so many IPs that I love. I do feel that they milk some of the IPs, but that said, I'm milking an IP is a fascinating conversation. I don't mind milking an IP. You have to actually make money in games, and you often are going to do that by selling the thing that is the most popular. I think there's a way to do it and a way not to do it. Blood Rage Valhalla, I'm totally fine with. I know it got some mixed feedback, but I love Blood Rage Valhalla. I thought the game was excellent, and they're bringing back a game that the last time we had a new version of that game was years ago. Like years ago. By the way, this wasn't supposed to be a conversation around other things other than Where Are They Now? But hey, this is a Board Game Co video. I go where the conversation takes me. But Everdell, they've completely just exhausted Everdell, going into it every single year. I am interested in Everdell Journeys, the new one they have coming up. I'm very interested in that one because it's a new game in the Everdell system, not just another take on Everdell. Similarly to Canvas. Canvas is in that weird place where I'm still excited for, okay, what new Canvas thing are you doing? I love Canvas. I'd love to see. But also I'm wary because I don't need you tapping out my interest in every single thing out there. So if Canvas 2.0, sure, I'm here for it. But are you actually doing anything new? Is there a reason for it to exist, or is it just an opportunity to sell it again? That's where I will be critical, or possibly not, depending on what they do. Like, I don't mind being critical where I think Tycoon Games is just milking an IP, and I don't mind being effusive when I love it. Blood Rage Valhalla, excellent. Evadell's good, but we just don't need one every single year, and Canvas, you know, the jury's still out. Anyways, Canvas itself is amazing. That's the point here. Canvas is a great game. Pick it up. I guess the new version's coming out soon, so you can check that out if you want. Unintentional ad for Tycoon Games. Definitely not sponsored. Not by them, but Allplay. Allplay is a channel sponsor. You can go to allplay.com and all those things. Anyways, that is Where Are They Now for 2025 and 2021. April, all the games in April. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed this random off-topical conversations around the various different things, such as... I don't know. We covered a few things, but I don't remember them all anymore. Anyways, until next time, I'm Alex Macker from Board & Co. Hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, I hope you have a good one.